What's up everybody, it's Lids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're playing the new Entrenched seasonal event in which every unit that we play gets resilience. That means the cards that gain value the longer they stay on the board are even stronger now than ever before. And today, we have the perfect card for just that situation. Let's go take a look at the deck. So today we'll be playing a Monsters Force of Nature deck that builds around one of the cards that benefits most from this seasonal event. That card being Yaga. We did use it recently, but this is the perfect event for playing her, because every other turn she will consume a unit, and every time you do that, you can consume units with a bigger provision cost. And the difference between her and other consuming units is in this case, we are allowed to consume our opponent's units. So that means if she stays on the board long enough, we could consume 6, 7, maybe even 8 provision cost units, which has the potential to be huge. So other than that, we have some units that benefit from the consumption, like the She-Troll, and we have a few Death Wish units in case we need to consume our own units to trigger the first few rounds of Yaga, such as the Rotfiend, the Foglet, and the Archespore. And other than that, we have engines that benefit from being on the board as long as possible, like Nithral, and the Beast, and some purification from units like the Caretaker to get rid of the resilience on our opponent's units. So those are all the big combos, but now I'll flip through the deck to show you what else we have. And Witch's Sabbath is here just in case the Fun Police arrive and immediately either purify or destroy Yaga. That way you can immediately bring her back. Yaga is a 1-power unit, which means that if you wait to play this in round 3 when you have a bunch of other monsters in your graveyard, it's extremely unlikely that you'll be able to bring her back then, so it is almost entirely a round 1 insurance policy in case Yaga gets immediately destroyed, or if she gets purified early in round 1, you can consider passing quickly in round 1, and then use Witch's Sabbath in round 2 to bring her back. So there's a look at the deck, and like I said, the focus is on maximizing the consumption from Yaga, because building up the power of this order ability over the course of 2 rounds can make it insanely powerful. I think this deck is going to be a ton of fun, so let's go see it in action. Alright, so going up against Nilfgaard here, and they'll go first. Okay, now like the looks of this hand, we have the Cave Troll, and we have marching orders to get Yaga. We have She-Troll to get boosted from all that consumption. Then if they do something to purify or remove Yaga, we can use Witch's Sabbath to bring her back. We even have a 4 provision cost and 5 provision cost unit that we can consume on our side if needed. We may not need the Slyzard. And okay, well, now we just have Yaga. So this works. Okay, Imperial Practitioner does beg the question, what card are they going to try to put in our graveyard? They could be the most patient Gwent player in the world and use this resilience to wait until round 2 to activate this ability, but I think that's pretty unlikely. Why don't we mix up the order just a little bit here and start with the Foglet in case they had immediate plans to destroy whatever card we're going to play next, because we obviously don't want them to get rid of either the Cave Troll or Yaga. Alright, it's Roderick into an Operator. What are they doing here? Another... Oh, okay. I see. They're going all out on the Imperial Practitioners. Okay, so we'll see if this is just a meme or if they legitimately have a strong strategy to back it up. It's certainly possible. But let's carry on now. We'll give it a shot. The Cave Troll here. And if they do have a way to remove a card, like, say, Vilgefortz, then this could very well be the time they choose to do that. It's Vigo. Duchess's Informant. Oh, well. Great. More Imperial Practitioners. Yup. Consistent, if nothing else. Then their leader ability. Okay, so now we play Yaga. And at the moment, we'd be looking to consume our Foglet. And then we have a whole bunch of options at 5 provisions with all those Imperial Practitioners. Alright, it's Brothans for, presumably, another Duchess's Informant, which means another Imperial Practitioner. So we don't really have a way of stopping them from doing this, so we're just gonna go along for the ride and see what it's all about. So now let's play Nithral. And let's consume our Foglet. Alright, more Duchess's Informants. Guess what? More Practitioners. Alright, now let's Beast, because it will definitely not be the biggest unit out there, so it should continue to get boosted. Alright, another Imperial Practitioner. They grow on trees. So now let's Caretaker. Consume their biggest Practitioner, which looks like it's either of these guys back here. And then Purify, probably Rothens or Vigo. And at this point, we really wanted to, we could return the favor and play an Imperial Practitioner of our own. Alright, then Oneiromancy. Into, yep, Vilgefortz makes sense. So let's see, they're going to put the Foglet. Oh, so what they did is they swapped our Foglet with Matic and then created a bazillion Matics in their deck. Okay, very cool. I support this completely. Alright, now let's go Marching Orders and get Villem. And Royal Decree, okay, that was not really what I was planning. But, sure, we'll go Nithral. They'll pass. They do still have the lead here. But I think we go Oneiromancy into a Witch Apprentice. And then while we're at it, why don't we consume the Villem, Purify the Brothens, and damage anyone else that has Resilience. If it shouldn't have been you, because you're going to lose the boost anyway. Should have been Morfran or this Imperial Practitioner. Either way, we'll take the round 1 win. And I'm curious to see how this carryover plays out in round 2. Alright, so Yaga is up to consuming a 7 provision cost unit. And we did put an Imperial Practitioner in our deck, but, you know, we probably don't actually want one, come to think of it. So let's get rid of you, and we can probably do better than a Foglet as well. So we do have a lead here, and the only 7 provision cost units we can consume at the moment would be our own. So let's not do that. I think we play here. Let's go Oneiromancy into a Wererat, and we'll just start eating all these Duchess's Informants here. Let's damage somebody, and we don't need to purify anyone at the moment. Alright, Snowdrop. Can't quite consume her yet. But I imagine what they're looking for is get a bomb in their hand to activate their bazillion Matics. So now let's go Archespore over here where the Wererat can consume it. Then, I mean, we should really be damaging the assimilate units, right? And purify you. And we could consume our beast with Yaga to keep this consume order getting bigger and eventually be able to consume Snowdrop. Still a little bit reluctant to do that. I feel like we might just leave Yaga unused for this round unless they happen to just gift wrap us a 7 provision cost unit. Oh, well, that's well played. Mage Infiltrator, now, if you do destroy a unit after playing it, will go back to their side, and it gets rid of Yaga, so certainly not going to be using Yaga anymore in that case. Unless we witches Sabbath to bring her back, which is possible. In fact, we could still consume 1 more monsters unit and be able to do that. So I think we go with the Rotfiend here. Damage another assimilate unit. Alright, there is Matic. They're playing him from their hand. Not the way they wanted to have to do that. Okay, I'm not actually sure we want to play Witch's Sabbath because it's probably going to bring back bigger units on their side than it does on our side. Instead, let's just go with the damage with Tempest. And although this is a little bit overkill in the damage, it does give us the boost for Nithral. And I think, although we could Purify Matic, I mean, I suppose we do. They're probably going to use this order anyway, and that is almost certainly going to be the last card we want to play, in which case we probably should have used our leader ability on second thought. We'll see what they do here. So Oneiromancy probably into a bomb to get their Basilic Maddox, I would imagine. There we go. They'll be on the Wererat. How many Maddox was it? And is it enough? It is not enough. Yet, at least. And at this point, sure, you'll get some Cataclysm from those Maddox, but you're not going to have enough time for all that stuff to trigger. And so maybe they realize that because they forfeit. Very cool deck, but we will win nonetheless. Alright, so going up against monsters here. And we'll go first. Okay, in between Marching Orders, Royal Decree, and Oneiromancy, we could definitely get both Yaga and the Cave Troll down to protect her. That means we're probably looking for units to consume, and we have a 4 provision cost Death Wish unit, and a 5 provision cost Death Wish unit, even Villem, who's 6 provisions that we play on our opponent's side, so he's also a decent target in case our opponent doesn't give us any to work with. Maybe we get rid of the Pellar, because we have other Purification. And okay, well, we get the Cave Troll directly, that works too. In which case, let's start with the Cave Troll. Alright, they're going to go with the Self-Eater. And that's 6 provisions, so it's certainly possible we could eventually consume that with Yaga. So let's get Yaga out now. Alright, Ratcatcheress. And that's a 7 provision unit, which is also theoretically possible. Probably need to have that happen in round 2, assuming they don't purify Yaga. But it appears that we are going to need to consume our own 4 provision cost unit. That's what the Foglet is here for. So let's do that. Alright, and well, love to see that. That is definitely going to be our 5 provision cost target for Yaga. And Yaga's on cooldown, and before we consume any more, let's go Oneiromancy into Nithral. That way we can get more boosts when we consume. Alright, so Witch Apprentice. Also a potential 5 provision cost target. It's not worth as many points at the moment, but over time could grow to be bigger than this 9 power card. But if we consume this, then we deny them the Sabbath. So maybe we do that. And speaking of Sabbath, play our own Witch Apprentice. And I'm going to deliberately play it in the range row in case they have any way of purifying the entire melee row with something like a Spring Equinox. Hey, Kiki More Worker, serious doubts about using that card in this event because it loses the armor in between rounds, which means it will automatically destroy itself at the start of round 2. Alright, and so now we're looking at next turn being able to consume a 6 provision cost unit, and they do have several of them out there, and then eventually a 7 for the Ratcatcheress, so that means we don't really need to create any more targets. Let's play the Slyzard instead. Alright, they're going to go with She Who Knows. Another card that I just don't really see the point of playing in this event. It gives resilience. Everyone already has resilience. So now with Yaga, we can consume one of their Self-Eaters. We can either get this 4-power one that has resilience, or this 2-power one that still has its order ability. I think we consume the one with resilience. And then let's also get down this Rotfiend. And that'll be what we consume with the Slyzard. Alright, Bloody Mistress. Another strong card. However, when she converts over to Gurnakora, she loses resilience. So another one that in this event just doesn't really make sense. So in that case, let's Royal Decree. And with that Royal Decree, let's get a Caretaker out here. And we'll purify whatever big units they have left. We're going to consume this Ratcatcheress on our next turn, so I'm not worried about that. Thinking we're either going to want to purify She Who Knows or the Witch Apprentice. Go with the Witch Apprentice. Alright, Mamuna. And I'm eyeing this area here as a potential way to set up Tempest. But before we do that, let's consume this 15-point Ratcatcheress for a humongous point swing. Then we'll go Prince Villem here. And we'll get our Wererat out here. I don't really think we want to be doing any consumption with him right now. Let's put him over here. And then, just in case that's the last card we play, let's use Crystal Skull. Alright, they are still going to play. It's another Self-Eater. So they have enough boosts at the end of their turn that even if they don't play any cards, they will be able to win round 1. So I think what we do is we go Tempest, and as I was saying, I was eyeing these Resilience units next to each other. So we can purify them all. And then Mamuna is going to lose the boost in between rounds. So let's purify this Self-Eater instead. And they may be able to still pass us here and win in round 1, but they are going to have a 2-power unit as their only Resilience unit. Unless they play something big here. It's Wispess. So they will win round 1, but I'm liking our chances here in round 2. Okay, so just taking a look at what stayed on the board here in between rounds. They did keep She Who Knows, but we certainly still have far more points than they do. So they may look to dry pass here. Either way, I think we probably want to get rid of the Archespore. Maybe the Foglet as well. Alright, they will dry pass. As we can see, we certainly have more power than they do at the moment. So I think we'll just pass as well and take this quick round 2 win. Alright, so now that we're in round 3, the Pellar doesn't really matter much. Purification, not a factor. We do have some consumption with the Slyzard, so Archespore could work in that sense. So maybe we stick with this. And let's play Nithral first. That way we can immediately damage whatever unit they play next. And it's, ooh, Thrive. Okay. So they're going wide. And in that case, let's play Wild Hunt Hound, because we'll definitely have dominance at the end of our turn. And let's get rid of one of these Thrive units. Alright, Brewess. We'll trigger the Thrives and give them some consumption. Also means we don't have dominance unless we use our leader ability here, which I think is probably worth doing. Although, maybe they see that coming, because by the looks of things, they forfeit. Alright, so going up against Northern Realms here. And we'll go first. Okay, so we can get Yaga using Royal Decree, but we'd like to get a way to get the Cave Troll to protect her as well. Villem could potentially make that happen, but it's by no means guaranteed. So let's get rid of one of our Foglets. Nithral is a decent pickup, and since we have Tempest, may not feel the need for the Pellar. A Caretaker is another source of purification, basically just an upgrade for the Pellar. So I guess we stick with this, and we take that risk that they may be able to possibly immediately shut down Yaga. So with that in mind, maybe we ease into things a little bit, or at least give a little bit of a roll the dice. Let's play Villem. As long as we don't get Witch's Sabbath, we can probably make this work. No matter what he gives us, what will it be? Okay, it's the Cave Troll. It's perfect. Exactly what we were looking for. Alright, Griffin Witcher Adept is a potential target for us to consume. So now let's go Royal Decree into Yaga. Alright, they'll go with the Kirak Frigate. And that's a decent 6 provision cost target for us to consume. So for now, let's play the Caretaker. Consume Griffin Witcher Adept. And then we'll just purify Villem, because I expect that we will consume that frigate. And they'll forfeit. So we'll take the win. Alright, so going up against monsters here. And we'll go first. Okay, so we have Yaga. We have She-Troll that goes well with Yaga. Means we probably don't need marching orders because this is primarily a way to get Yaga. Right now it would give us Villem instead. It's not a terrible thing, but let's think about what units we want Yaga to consume. Let's get rid of one of our 4s then, and ideally we get a 5. Well, we got Cave Troll, so that works. So why don't we start with the Cave Troll? Alright, they'll go with the Self-Eater. That's a 6. So that could be a decent target for us to consume, but we're going to need some other targets to build up with first. So alright, let's do it. Yaga next. We don't yet have anything for her to consume, but we will soon. Alright, it's packed. I mean, if we can get up to 6 provision consumption, then that's obviously a great target. And I think because they don't have any 4 provision cost units, we will probably need to play one of our own. So we can go with the Archespore, but we could get a little greedy and go with She-Troll first, so we get additional boost when we do that consumption, and that way, it gives them a little more time to maybe play one of those low provision cost units that we can consume later. Alright, it's another Self-Eater. Some more 6 provision cost units on their side, but let's consume one of our own 4s. Like so. Now, unfortunately, the one that we summon out from our deck is not going to gain resilience because it's summoned, not played. But that's a downside we're going to have to accept because, well, we're going to hopefully be consuming a lot of their resilience units. So that should make up for it. They're going to pass quickly here. Oh, interesting. They're scared of the Yaga. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, she's not going away. So alright, let's pass here, and we'll take the round 1 win. So now what we're looking for is a 5 provision cost unit for Yaga to consume, and we got one with the Rotfiend, so that's perfect. That means we don't have much need for the low provision cost units like the Foglet, which Apprentice is a 5 provision cost unit, but that's one we probably want to keep on the board. And well, they forfeit, because they just couldn't handle the Yaga. So there's a look at a Monsters Yaga deck for the new Entrenched seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below to let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. And tune in later today at twitch.tv/lidsvids as we stream the new Samhain holiday event, in which we will help the crones to get some Halloween-themed rewards. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.